Aaron Gordon reportedly eager to welcome a change of scenery. Now, Houston evidently is motivated to get him. Minnesota, Dallas, Denver, and Golden State also have expressed interest. I go back to a couple years ago, Mike, when I was like, I would rather have this guy than Dwight Powell. This was whenever we were still on the night show, and I was like, I like his style of play to go along with Luka, and most people were telling me at the time he's not a good enough three-point shooter, and I get that, but I think he has some other qualities that fit really well with what Luka can do.
I would like to have him. It concerns me that he's always hurt. He might be hurt more than Porzingis.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
that's how much Aaron Gordon misses time on the basketball court. I mean, he's a 50% player, and that means he's going to play in 50% of your games. If you look at his career, he just isn't a healthy guy. When he is healthy, he's a nice player. I was looking at this, like his best point guards he's ever played with are Jameer Nelson and Markelle Fultz. Like he's never had any – so his whole game is based off of somebody setting him up, right? I mean, when you looked at him coming out of Arizona, you thought he's kind of like this hybrid between Sean Marion and Amari Stoudemire.
Okay.
Amari Stoudemire, had Steph Marbury – and then took his game to another level when he got Steve Nash. I've always wondered about a guy like Aaron Gordon, if he ever got to play with a real point guard, and I do believe Luka is, where Luka can give you easy alley-oops, easy buckets left and right. How good could this number 2 overall pick be? And so I'm interested, but as I read like Bleacher Report, it does say the Rockets, Mavericks, Nuggets, and Warriors are interested in Aaron Gordon. Here's our problem, though, Corey, and people are asking me at the card show, hey, do you think the Mavericks are going to make a move? And I said no, and they were all disappointed because most Maverick fans know they need to make a move if they're going to really compete this year. And I said no because they don't have any assets to get anything, and the only asset they have is KP, and that makes it tough because he's your second best player when he's on the court, and then how much do you get for him with his injury history? I don't know how much teams are willing to trade. But here's the next part of what Bleacher Report says, and how do we beat this? And I'm not saying he's awesome, but the package is centered with Denver around Bol. We don't have any young dude like that we can trade to. And here's where it goes. For Dallas, Dwight Powell has been rumored among league personnel as the centerpiece in any deal. So if you're the Orlando Magic, you're a bad team going nowhere. Would you rather have the 21-year-old 7-foot-plus guy who's shown some potential in the NBA, not making much money, or would you rather have another 2 years at $25 million of Dwight Powell who plays anywhere from 2 to 15 minutes a night on the Mavericks?
Probably not Dwight Powell, right?
Yeah, so that's the tough part is when we get to these, and when a guy like Aaron Gordon, he's not a huge difference maker, right? He's not going to become your second best player. I don't think he'd even become your third best player. But when you look at the Rockets and the Nuggets and the Warriors, we just can't compete with their assets.
Who's the third best player right now? Is it Richardson?
The Mavericks? Right now it's Richardson. Today it's Richardson. Maybe for the last couple weeks it's been Richardson. Obviously, if you go back before that, you would say it was Jalen Brunson.
All right, so I guess I'm trying to place Gordon somewhere. Is Hardaway better than Gordon?
Hardaway's more reliable because he's healthy.
Okay.
But they're totally different positions. The thing is about the Mavericks is we have one of the weakest front courts in the NBA.
Yeah, so I'm trying to strengthen that.
Right, and Gordon would help there, and Hardaway doesn't play that position.
Is he playing over Maxey?
It matters where the fit is and how quick Aaron Gordon can fit in.
Okay,
because Aaron Gordon's talent is superior to Maxey Kleba's.
Okay,
so he was the number 2 overall pick, but can you start getting that out of him? I mean, he's been in the NBA for a while. This isn't his third year.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying, Mike. It's going to be difficult for the Mavs to make something like that happen. Here's a name that you love that the Mavericks do not. I saw this from NBA Central. There is a report that the Cavs have been seeking a second-round pick for Andre Drummond.
Yeah.
A second-round pick, Mike, for a guy that's going to get you all the rebounds that you need.
And you can really if it takes you this. I keep saying this. because people are like, hey, he might be a chemistry killer. He's never made teams better, right? Detroit wasn't a playoff team. Cleveland got tired of him in less than a year, and I totally get that. I'm not saying you're wrong. You could be 100% right if you hate Andre Drummond. But if I give up Dwight Powell and James Johnson and my second-round pick, which I believe right now is the 50th pick in the draft, and we know what we do with that. We take guys like Pavel Podkolzin or Satnam Singh and just make a joke of the draft.
Yes.
So we don't even want that pick. So if you could do it for that, because it seems like nobody really wants to trade for him. So Andre Drummond does have a very bad rep around the NBA. At this point, for what he's accomplished and his stats alone, nobody wants to trade for him. He has to have a horrible reputation around the league. But if you have him for 3 weeks and you think he's an S-head and a horrible teammate and you release him, you lost Dwight Powell and James Johnson and the 50th pick in the draft? What did you lose? What did you lose in that? You actually opened up more cap space in the offseason, too, if you can get rid of Dwight Powell. To me, I hate saying this, I think he's a great person, a great community leader, a great guy to have on a team as a kind of an energy guy, a hype guy, a positive guy, a guy who works hard in practice. But if we lose Dwight Powell, I'd love to spend that $10 to $12 million on another player in the offseason.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you to try and see if you can't add a more physical presence down by the board. And on top of that, even you add in, Mike, talking the discussion of having some extra cap space to deal with to find that third guy.